Hi guys, quick course-based video for you. Dashboards. What are these dashboards about? What are all these little dots mean, and how do we level up our characters and our skills? What about these weapon counters? Look at all the little symbols on them, and how do you know whether it's short range or medium range and how many dice to roll? Have a look at this video and it'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay guys, so here's our dashboard, okay, nice and simple, hold it in your hand, okay, and I've already popped in some full amount of ammunition, which you will spend as you are progressing through the game, and obviously reload, providing you've got the ammo. And I've also got health 4 here at the moment, and I've got a couple of skill points here as well. These I've got black in here. These will be green for health and purple for skill. Okay, so the dashboard, the first thing you need to do is pop in your class card. Here's Gak's class card, and I'll explain it to you. You've got a picture of Gak. You've got his species, which is the quell. You've got his name, okay, across the top. We've also got his attributes of health, actions, use skill, and his career points, okay. Also, a designation here that he is crew. And we've got a little saying on here, okay. This is a little kind of catchphrase for Gak. And then we've also got a points value here. Now that will become apparent later on, but basically what we're doing based on the attributes and the possible how far this character can progress, we're giving people points values, and that will enable later on for us to kind of pick teams based on points for certain styles of play. Also here we've got Gak with a permanent attribute, and this one actually means that he has got a permanent close combat skill of 1. So even if he's not holding any close combat weapons at all, he can deal damage with whilst rolling a combat dice, which is really cool. Like I say, nice picture of Gak and everything. You'll also notice on here he's got his default settings, so he can have a possible of 6 health in total, which is pretty cool. But he defaults with these black circles in it to 4. Okay, so what we'll do is we will pop him into his, and it's the same for actions and use skill and his career as well. So pop him into his dashboard, just like that. There you go. That all sits in there nice, quite happily. And I'm then going to use this marker just to dot out these default settings. So I'm going to do that now. Now, you don't need to use a dry white marker in the game, okay? You're only ever going to use that in between missions, so there's no messing about with pens or anything like that whilst you're actually playing the game. Okay, so there's Gak in his little card, in his little dashboard. We're going to pick a class for him. He could be a hunter, he could be basic crew, which is kind of a jack of all trades and really quite useful. And in this case, we could be a tech. We're going to use support. Okay, I'm going to pop that in there, and as you can see, that now fits in there, nice and comfortable, not going anywhere. We can carry this around the table without worrying about spilling what he's carrying and all the details. Okay, so there we go. I've chosen support. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skills on here, some of which he can go right up to level 3, others he can only get 2, and over here, energize, only 1. Okay, so this kind of fits the support role. Okay, there's a lot of endurance skills on there, not necessarily a lot of ranged combat or marksman skills. Because he's already got 2 default career points, I can now allocate those based on my character as a rookie, how I would like him to develop. So I'm going to give him 1 on walk it off, because I think he's a pretty tough guy. I'm going to put 1 on stubborn as well, because we know that Gak's stubborn. And there you go. He is now set as a rookie, ready to play straight into the game. Before you start the game, you can pick some basic weapons for him, which I've got here. I've got a simple Outlands rifle there, ballistic rifle. I've also got a close combat knife, a very basic one. And I've also got a Medistim, okay, to help him out with his health as he goes through the game. As I develop this character, those attributes will rise. To develop a character, when they finish their mission, providing they get back without being left behind, without needing to hitch a ride or to get like, you know, being emergency teleported back, Gak will get 1 career point for making it through that mission. He does have a chance to get an additional career point as well should he, for example, kill a live one or an assassin, he would get an extra career point for that, and there's tokens in the game that you can give somebody who does that. Okay, now because he is leveled up, I get to use that career point and I can allocate that to a skill. So I might be like, oh, maybe I want energize, maybe no, I'm going to have level 2 of stubborn, and I'm going to allocate that right there. Okay, and now I've got more skills, I can draw on more abilities in game, and so on and so forth. As I progress through the games, okay, so I'm going to pop some more. I'm going to progress as if I've done 5 games now. I now have 5 career points, and I can allocate those 5 career points, one of which I already have, to some more skills. So I'm going to do that. So now I have Gak kind of halfway through his career, which is really cool. Because I've got to the end of this first career line here, it also means that when I put that point in there, I can now level up 2 of his attributes over here as well. I can put 1 in health, and I can put 1 in use skill. Okay, that means that I can grab some more health. So I've now got more health for my character, and I've got the ability to use my skills more times within the game. Really, really useful when you're playing. Okay. Now, if I then level up, imagine I play another 5 games with Gak, so I'll do that. I've now leveled up both careers, okay, and I've also leveled up the skills. And you can see here that even at full career, you can never quite max out all of your different skills. So each character does become slightly different, slightly more powerful in some skills and less in another. And because I've got to the end of this second career path, I now get to award myself an extra health point and an extra use skill point. So I'll do that. You can see here now that I'm on maximum health, okay? But I'm not quite on maximum skill, use skill points, and I've still technically got an action. I can't progress my career any further. I can't get any more skills. Gak, as his character is maxed out on the abilities that he can get. However, I can still, if I complete yet another game, I get to finally put in another skill point, and then if I complete another game after that, a final one, I can actually max out his actions. Should he survive that long, he ends up with 3 actions, which is incredibly powerful to have in game. You really need to level your character right up to the top, and of course with these extra health I'd put them in here, so I'd have here and I'd have another couple of skill points over here, making the character very, very powerful indeed. This is how you basically level up your character, and it gives you that real sense of achievement. You can develop your skills in different ways. Okay, so here's Gak. He's got some really rubbish weapons still. We need to kind of change that. But let me just explain actually some of the attributes and what these little symbols mean on the weapon. This is a ballistic rifle. You know that because on each weapon it tells you on the back here that it's an Outlands ballistic rifle. Pretty basic weapon, sort of thing you'd find in a vending machine, as it were. Okay, and it's got 3 symbols on, 3 circles on here. Okay, this is short, medium, and long range. And so you can easily see that this weapon has got an ability to attack at short and medium range. The number in the little circle indicates the number of dice. So with this rather basic weapon, you can basically roll 1 combat dice. We always start with a blue. And so there you go. It's a basic weapon, takes up a lot of space. We need to upgrade that. For this knife here, you can see here that we've got a little picture of a fist. Then we've got a little bit picture of a powerful fist with a big psh round it. And then we've got a kind of a box with an arrow end to it. Okay, this represents the combat dice when used in a normal fashion. The combat dice you can roll if used in a very aggressive action, and the ability for that weapon to be thrown. You can see here this basic vending machine dice can really only just roll. It's 1 dice used in a normal fashion. You can't really use this in a heavy fashion. It would just useless because it's a vending machine knife. Okay, so there you go. But let's look at some of the other weapons as well, so that I can show you how that might work. Lastly, here we've got a health pack here, and this gives you back two health when used. Okay, and of course it's got a little symbol on it here, a picture of a hand dropping the token, which means that if you use it, you remove it. Okay, so let's just have a look at some weapons to give you an idea. So for example, rifles. We've got a few ideas of some rifles here. We have got this one, which is basically a this is a little bit more powerful than your normal rifle. Okay, this is an Outlands energy rifle, still an Outlands weapon. Okay, not particularly high tech. But it does, at medium range, increase your combat dice. Okay, so you're a bit further away from the enemy. You're a little bit, you can take your time to steady your aim with this kind of weapon. Then you're going to get a better chance of hitting. But you can see here that as you upgrade, you can see that we've got this weapon here. This is a nice weapon. This is a military rifle, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty standard. It gives you, it's pretty effective, reliable weapon, and gives you a long range combat of 1 dice as well. It's 1 step up. Another example would be a weapon like this. This is lovely. This is a really nice combat rifle, and what this does, it gives you 2 dice at short range and 1, and so on. And as we go through, you can see that you can get upgrades. So this one here, this is pretty cool. This one has been enhanced. Okay, and what it is, it's got this little cog symbol here. That means it's reliable. So if you're rolling your dice and you roll a double pang on this weapon, okay, this weapon will be jammed, and you have to turn that over in your dashboard. Okay, so over here we've got GAC. If this weapon jams, you will spin it over and jam it, and then GAC needs to spend an action point to unjam that weapon. Makes a big difference in the middle of a kind of fierce combat, as it were. Okay, this one has the reliable symbol. It will not jam, and that's very, very useful. You also notice where it's been enhanced here at the barrel, it's giving it a slightly more powerful medium range as well. Okay, interesting thing about this as well is you cannot buy this weapon. It's got the little R symbol, which means it's rare. That means that you cannot buy this weapon, okay, when you're trading. It has to be found. Some things you just have to find. Okay, we've got an energy rifle. This is really nice. This is kind of what the Galactic Guard are carrying. It's a pretty powerful, bit like this. It's got a nice short and medium, but also long range as well. And as we go through, you can see this is nice. The line rifle, a very, very steady, strong, reliable weapon. Fires an intense beam, and which just cuts through any distances. Very reliable at all ranges. How about a shock rifle? Okay, really not very good at medium range, useless at long range. Very handy at close range. This is like the future shotgun, if you like. Shock rifle. Pretty cool weapon, one of my favourites. We've then got things like the machine rifle. Again, a ballistic weapon. Okay. This really is just the future machine gun, and it really just sprays your weapon, sprays your ammunition all over the place. Very effective at short and medium range. Very good. And as we go on, we start to get some kind of specialist weapons here. This is kind of nice. The incinerator gun is a chemical-based weapon, and this does damage. This does 4 damage dice. This is short range only. 4 damage dice to the target that the intended target, and if there's anyone in base contact and then next base contact, they receive an attack of 2 and 1 as well. Anyone that's crazy enough to try and take one of these weapons, incinerators, and turn it into a shorter, more powerful weapon, will basically end up with this crazy weapon, which is the Mayhem gun. And you can see it does 5 dice of damage. However, it's so powerful that every time you shoot it, it also deals you 1 damage as well. So you better be holding some armour. And of course, like many of these strange black market weapons, it's rare. Okay, and as you can see here, it's very similar. with the weapons. Vending machine weapons get more and more powerful. We've got a reliable version there, nice military pistol, an enhanced military pistol with sights on it, energy pistols. We've got a reliable energy pistol. I love this weapon. Such a good all-rounder. Again, you can't buy it, you need to find this one. Machine pistol is very, very cool. The ability to use 3 combat dice at close range and only take up 1 space on your dashboard is really, really nice. It's also really expensive to buy as well. There are some kind of unique weapons as well. My personal favourite, the Havoc pistol. Really, again, short amount of space, 4 dice at close range. You can't buy this one. Okay. This is a cool weapon, Vapor pistol. It has infinite ammo because it basically just pulls moisture from the air, okay, to use as ammunition and fires that vapor in a very, very intense, at short range, hot stream. Okay, 2 damage, pretty reliable, but it's also silent, so it doesn't actually add anything to the hostility tracker when fired on the first round. How about this one? This is your this is really nice as well, your antique pistol. Again, rare. It's reliable. It's a revolver. It's reliable. You don't see this. This is from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. They don't make these kind of guns anymore. But you know what? The old stuff's the best stuff. 3 dice at short range and 2 dice at medium range. What a good all-rounder. Again, not taking up much space on your dashboard. And as we go through, you can see it's the same for our close combat weapons. Okay. They get more and more upgraded as you go through. You get customs, you get things that you can dual wield, you've got combat axes. And so here you can see that we've got an ability of close combat at 1 dice. But if you use this in a heavy-handed fashion, you can roll 2 dice. What that means is that if you do roll the double pang, then this weapon is broken. You lose the weapon. So it's risk reward as far as that's concerned. But also you do have the ability to throw this as well at your opponent at short range, which is really, really cool. Okay, we've got some larger close combat weapons as well. You can see here that we've got a really nice combat sword. Okay, pretty powerful. Takes up a lot of space because it's kind of quite a big thing to wield. But again, pretty powerful. And we've got a master crafted one as well. This is really nice, a masterpiece sword. And again, there's some serious dice damage if you want to get into close combat there. It goes all the way through to things like armour. So we've got, you know, various different types of armour. Okay. And with armour, you've kind of got three little areas on the armour. You've got your shield, okay, which is your basic permanent armour. Okay, so if I'm rolling 2 combat dice and I get a hit like this, it does no damage because that hit is absorbed by that. To do damage to somebody, I'd have to roll 2 dice. The first one is absorbed and removed, the second one makes the hit. Okay, that is permanent armour. And with this combat armour, it also gives the wearer the attribute of a close combat attack as well. So that's really handy, takes up less space. Okay. Whereas something like this, this has got a shield effect. What that means is that if you roll a dice, roll like this, and get 1 hit, nothing happens. You are protected. And all the time you're being attacked with just 1 hit, you are protected. However, if you are hit 2, just like the normal armour, the permanent armour, you will receive, this one will be negated, and you will receive a hit on this second dice. However, the shield has now been overpowered. You turn it over in your dashboard and it has to be recharged after the mission. Okay? As long as you hold it in your dashboard, the recharge is free, you get your shield back. If you drop it, you'll have to buy a new one. Okay? And there's various armours here. This beautiful impact suit, of course, you cannot buy that. That sits under your normal clothes and gives you a pretty good protection, but also an ability in close combat as well. Okay. And finally, you've got all sorts of other crazy things. So you've got your standard things. You'd have ammunition that you can find. There's a full clip. You find that. You can reload a full clip on your weapon. This one is D6. This represents you picking up and scooping up a load of ammo, putting it in your pocket, and then when it's time to reload, you figure out exactly how much ammo you managed to find. We've got a more powerful health pack, okay, that'll need to be bought, and you've got things like this, a combat stim. It's on your jacket, you take it off, you pump it into your leg, and yeah, that gives you 2 extra actions in a turn. That can be really, really useful. And again, as you're going through, you'll find various other things. There's some raw blue, you'll probably see in one of the Let's Play videos. There's credits to be found that you might want to hold on to. There's things like grenades and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's a really good indication of the sort of weapons that you might find in your cargo crates as you progress through the game, and that helps you level up your character so that you can make them not just powerful in career and skills, but also have a really, really nice set of weapons as well. There you go. Hopefully you've got everything you need to know now about your dashboards, how you progress your character, a very good basic understanding of the weapons and how they work as well. Excellent. Happy gaming!